Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, welcome.
Good afternoon.
A couple questions. I'd like to focus on career and technical education. And I've got two comments, each containing a couple of questions. What I'd like to do is give you the comment, all the questions that pertain to that, and I'm sure that you'll dovetail them into an over-encompassing answer. First one, the department's budget materials propose a career and technical education funding increase of $23 million, or 37% above what is currently in the enacted 15-16 budget. There's a request for an $8 million supplemental appropriation for 15-16 and an additional $15 million increase for 16-17. It's my understanding that you do not want to run these increases through the current career and technical education formula. Instead, the $8 million will be for college and career counseling in middle and high schools, and the $15 million will be for competitive grants to establish and strengthen programs that prepare students for high-skill careers. The questions that go with this is, why do you want to use competitive grants and not the formula currently in law? Are the career and technical schools supportive of this approach? Will the money be available only to career and technical centers and school districts that run their own career and technical programs, or will all school districts be able to apply?
So the grants would be made, the $15 million in competitive grants would be made available to all school districts and CTCs that run, that have significant enrollment in their career and technical education programs. And why we've moved forward with allocation of the $15 million by competitive grant is because we want to, again, this kind of falls in line with, under the governor's direction and our vision, to create conditions of excellence, conditions in which school districts first partner with industry partners to apply for those grants. We want to make sure that they're going to invest in labs that align to the needs of industry, while at the same time the programs industries are aligned to. So this will bring in partners with industry and career and technical education centers. We want to be sure that our career and technical education centers and high schools partner with their higher ed institution partners. So for example, we have great examples out there of career and technical education programs that roll right into as dual enrollment programs to community colleges for certificate attainment. So our vision, as you're working, as schools and school districts continue to work through their career and technical education programs, is to ensure that they align to industry recognized standards and ultimately ensure that students are in careers that earn a livable wage. So by moving towards and utilizing these funds to encourage, through a competitive grant to encourage partnerships, we think that's the best pathway to move forward to one, ensure quality, but second, ensure that students are being given an opportunity that is currently not always afforded them.
Now, to further go down the road of the career and technical education equipment grants, these are proposed to increase from $3 million in 15-16 to $5 million in 16-17. So the questions I have, for distribution of the 15-16 funding, are using the same formula as 14-15, a formula developed in consultation with the PA Association of Career and Technical Administrators. And secondly, your budget materials indicate that for 16-17, you want to discontinue the use of the prior formula. Why, and what will the elements of your new formula be?
So specific to the new elements, it's something that's currently being worked on with our industry partners through the advisory committee, so I can absolutely forward that information to the committee. The specific to the equipment grants, we want to ensure that we're aligning the additional funding for the equipment grants to programs that, again, are aligning them to industry. So for example, one of the conversations that we've been having regularly is welding is always a big hot topic that comes up as a high need career. in communities that may not have access to those labs, but may show interest, opportunities to build virtual welding labs, for example, could be a great use of some of this funding. In other cases where the tools, we're thinking, small machine repair, mechatronics, for example, where the tools have evolved, and we have many programs that are using outdated tools and equipment within the coursework to provide them an opportunity to apply for, grants that will help them update the tools that our students are using within those programs.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that information. And Mr. Secretary, anything that you provide to us, if you provide it to the chairman,
Absolutely.
he'll make it available to all the members. And just a parting comment to you that in a prior career before becoming a legislator, I worked in an industry that a lot of my coworkers came out of the Columbia Montour Votech School. Very cutting edge and continue to be cutting edge and addressing all the needs of the industry that has those family sustaining wage paying jobs that are out there. So very in tune with this education funding. I certainly hope that we continue it and that we don't deviate from this, that we can provide that cutting edge education to all of our students. Thank you again.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.